So in the other video, I mentioned that you can get your EB3 visa through different companies, but they require a lot of money. So I forgot to mention one thing. This process, it's usually about, it can take 6 months, 1 year to like 15, to like, depending on your country, to like 2 years or 3 years. Let me just state this. India, Chinese, Philippines, some countries, they take longer. But for people like us, Kenyans, Nigerians, African countries, whatever, like countries that have historically low immigrants from their country to the US, their times for their duration for this process is usually a bit shorter, like even a year or even 6 months, depending also on the company that has to be audited by IRS to make sure they have enough money to pay you. By they should be paying you the minimum, not the minimum, the average wage that other companies are paying for this job. So these companies are not, they're not, what is it called? They're not exploiting you. So they're paying the average amount of money like other companies. So if they say they'll pay you like $30,000 per year, this is like maybe, I don't know, per month. It means if other companies in the US economy pay for the same job 30,000, they're also paying 30,000. They're not paying you like 20,000. No, they're paying you their contracts they're signing with the government, and they're saying we will pay you the prevailing minimum wage. That's what they call it, the prevailing minimum wage. You don't have to worry of exploitation. And I told you this amount of money, you can get it when you've landed here. I can tell you for sure, you will know ways of how to make more money to make sure you pay that loan. If you get that money through a loan or a friend or your family, I know we don't have that kind of money, but you must get it. My diasporan people, please, this is money that you have. Go get it. Another thing that you can do to expedite this process, this is one of the only immigration processes that you can expedite the application to less than like a few months. Like there's a process where when you submit the form I-140, you can pay for premium processing. Above all this money that I'm saying, 9,000 to 33,000, that could probably, there's a company, they include the 2,500 expediting fee. So I-140 process takes about 6 to 9 months. But when you pay an extra $2,500, you will get your approval within 1 week to 2 weeks. Imagine from 7 months to 2 weeks. Yes, $2,500, 250,000 Kenya shillings. That is an expediting fee, and it's one of the few immigration processes that encourages or asks you, if you have the money, pay for it so that we get over with you, get your green card, you get away so that other people can get, they can get into line. So, because you know why? Because they know these jobs, the government already knows, your employer is already filing to the government and saying, hey, you know what? If you have this issue, we're giving you a heads up, or we're giving you a waiver where if you want this employee to come to work to you, tell the employee to pay as expediting fee, 2,500. You'll be approved within 2 weeks of this I-140 form. Once you get your I-140 form, you get your consular, you get your consular interview, and that's it. Boom, you go get the interview, you pass it, and that's it. Minimum. I think the failing is unless you fail on your part. This is not like a visa where they ask you, oh, what were you doing? What are you going to do? This is clearly your employer and the lawyer is filing all these processes for you. Your work is to pay money and show up at the embassy and show up at background check or goodwill conduct or police clearance and show up with a letter of recommendation or a letter showing that you worked in that job you're applying, you've worked at least 2 years, and of course, you can always get a letter to show that you've worked for 2 years, maybe a resume, and confidence to go to the interview and tell them, hey, I got an offer and this is the money. Not the money. I got an offer and this is the job, and the employer is willing to pay all this. The embassy already knows the process. Your work is to show up. Okay. For my diasporan people, this is an opportunity. Even if you're in this country, you can still go through this process. But there are two ways you can actually you can adjust your status from whatever status you're in if you're legally in a good status. If you've been undocumented, you have to exit the country. You can attract the entry bans, which is if you've overstayed more than 1 year without if you've overstayed more than 1 year without filing for any kind of legal status, you might attract a 1 year ban. If you overstay for 3 years, you attract for a 10-year ban if you exit the country. So you must be wise. So if you're in this country in some kind of situation, and I know people already know what kind of situation I'm saying, the diaspora people, you can consult with this. You can ask these companies. They want to see your immigration history. They already, if you give them like your passport number, they will see all your records. They will know if you've overstayed and how long, where's your other processes. They will let you know whether you qualify for this immigration process to adjust your status. It's called Form I-485. I-485, you can adjust your status from this to EB3, which is the EB3 is going to give you like a green card. EB3 basically means it's a category of work green cards. Okay. So my diasporan people, I know you people, you have the money. So if you have the money, send me an email right now and ask me, Lucy, please, I want to know this whole process. Consult with me. I will take you through the process and I will link you with an employer. And you must have funds to start with the process. I'm not linking you with people and you don't have the money. Okay? The money is between 9,000 to at least 33,000. And this is because there are several companies here. Some companies are charging more, like the 33,000 or the 23,000. It's because they have other factors. They have maybe better immigration officers. They have more experience in these categories. These ones that are charging cheaper is because either they don't offer accommodation or they have 1 or 2 lawyers who are working on your case, or just one lawyer, and they don't have many overheads. That's why the disparity of fees is coming in. Okay, so it's happening. It's not a scam, by the way. It's something that's happening, and you must be ready with all this amount. And also, I will also hook you up with one of the immigration companies, the companies that they have different payment options, but they usually give you around 2 to 3 payment options. So if your fee is about 18,000, they'll tell you pay the first 6,000 once this process has gone through, the second 6,000 when your I-140 has been approved, and then the third 6,000 is when you get your green card in your pocket. Okay, it is happening. This is happening, and you've had recession is coming in this country. We don't know when, but maybe next year. So just know there'll be lots of jobs coming up. And whether the recession is coming up or not, you need money in your pocket, and you need to get that money. You need to save that money so that you can come back here and tell me, Lucy, you know what? I'm ready. Let's do this. So my email is consultlucyaisha@gmail.com. I will leave it down in the description below. So please, opportunity comes once. If you don't take it, okay, somebody else will take it. Peace. Watch the next video.